Hey there, welcome back to Ruth and Ruby. My name is Jackie and I am so excited to share some fun projects with you today. So today's video is going to be continuing on with our Georgia Marble Festival prep, and it's all about sign making today. So I'm going to show you the 4 different ways that we make signs, wood signs, to prepare for an event or even just stock our store. So I want to go ahead and say thank you to Viver for sponsoring this video because I have a fun new tool to show you guys today. If you have ever thought about purchasing a vinyl cutter, I want to show you this one and let you do your own research and compare, because I'll be honest with you, when they reached out to me and asked me if they could send me this, I was skeptical that it could be as good as my $1,200 machine. I'm here to tell you that I think that you're going to be pleasantly surprised, just like I was. So let's get into it. I want to show you all the different ways that we make wood signs for decor, and I'm going to show you this fun new tool.
All right, so I'm starting by giving this a good coat of the brand new Fusion Red in Highlander. This is my favorite Christmas red. And then we are just using some Dixie Belle fluff on top of the JRV North Pole stencil. All right, so I'm going to finish it off with just a little bit of 220 sandpaper and give it some distressing. And then after that, I had a couple of spots that I didn't love, like right there at the R. So I just took a little bit of that Highlander and touched up those couple of spots. Okay, this next one has a base coat of Sawmill Gravy by Dixie Belle Paint, and I'm giving it just a quick sand to distress it just a little bit, and we're going to use this cute little toy shop stencil from Jamie Ray Vintage. I tape them down to keep them secure, especially when I know I'm going to need 2 coats. So here I already did the first coat, but I'm showing you the second coat. So I put it to the side with stencil intact and all, and then I bring it back to do the second coat, because reds tend to be a lot more transparent your first application. So there we go. You can see I do have a couple of spots that weren't perfect, but that's okay. So let's get into this awesome machine. So this machine comes in 3 sizes, and I have the 34-inch machine. So this little bundle, which I will certainly have linked below, it comes with so many other goodies, several rolls of vinyl and some transfer tape, and everything you're going to need to get you started. So this little box right here has your software in it, your blades, and a cutting mat. So Wayne here is just showing you how easy these 4 little screws just go in, and it's just quick work of putting this, what do you call that thing? A stand. Putting this stand together. So I love these little rollers. So this is the perfect little house for holding my big roll of vinyl, and this basket is awesome. I know I keep saying the word awesome, but I don't really know how else to describe it, because I've wanted a stand for my big machine for so long and I've never bought one. So I'm thrilled to have this. I want to show you here how easy that blade is to pop in. All you do is push that button on the end, and it pops right in. All right, so we're going to pop it in the carriage now and do a test cut. So then you just use the little twisty thing to, real professional, twisty thing to tighten the blade into the carriage. All right, you guys, anybody else find way too much satisfaction out of pulling those off of a new electronic? I really should have let Wayne do that, because it's like his favorite thing in the whole world. So we are going to get our material loaded in here and get ready to do a test cut. So when we push that offline button, that allows us to use those arrows to move the vinyl around and get it positioned the way that we need it. So the up arrows, they, of course, front and back, and then the left and right arrow, they move the little carriage to left and right to wherever you need it to go. So here I have put it where I need it, and then I push the origin button to let the little carriage know that that's the point that I want it to start. So as you see there, I did the little test button, and we can see that it's way too thick. So all we have to do to adjust that blade depth is do a little half a turn right there on the blade, and that is going to not make the blade go so deep into the material. So here we are fixing to do our test cut, and I've just pulled in one of my SVGs. So if you're unfamiliar with these kinds of machines, that stands for Scalable Vector Graphic. And you can purchase those on, well, a lot of websites, but Etsy, or I make a lot of my own. So I am just telling it that my material width is 24 inches, and we're going to send it to the machine and say, yes, we want to cut it. I'm sorry for the quality of this recording. I don't know how to do screen recording on a PC, and my only issue with this machine is that it's not Mac compatible. There we go. Look at it go. Perfect cut. You guys, I really truly think this has been the easiest out-of-the-box experience I've ever had with any machines, and I have 5. I'm ashamed to say. So it's time to weed our vinyl stencil now, and I'm leaving this in real time because I want you to see just how easy and buttery smooth this vinyl comes up. So I think it takes me maybe 1 minute. Oh, looky, there's my favorite part. I love those letters when they come out like they're supposed to. Anybody else have trouble with script? Yes, I know you do. So look, it's perfect. And so about 1 minute and we are good to go. While the kit did come with transfer tape, I have been doing this so long that I am partial to this medium tack, which I will link for you down below. This medium tack clear transfer tape. It is my favorite, and I just don't steer from it very often. Okay, the easiest way for me to remove the backing is to flip it upside down and just peel it like this. So I just flip it and, kind of hold the backing at like, I don't know, I hold it flat. You see what I'm saying? You picking it up, right? So I just pull it like that, so that way it makes it easier. And if by chance any of those little pieces try to come up, I can easily push them back down, which I didn't have any trouble with that because literally I got the most perfect cut ever. All right, so then I just smooth it down with my little squeegee to make sure all the air bubbles are squeezed out and it's adhered perfectly. And the transfer tape removes so easily. That's why I love the medium tack versus a high tack. Okay, you guys, here is the key to no bleeds on your stencils. Seal your stencil with your base coat. Y'all, please stop using Mod Podge. There's no need. Just use your base coat of paint. And then I'm going to use some Conservatory. This is one of the newer colors by Fusion Mineral Paint. And you guys, I just need you to know how much I love this color. When I first saw it, I was like, I don't know about that. That's too green. That's too bright. But when it dries, it is the beautiful shade of like olive green that is so popular right now. Okay, our next way of making signs is IOD paint inlays. So I'm giving this a good hefty coat of Dixie Belle Sawmill Gravy and applying my paint inlay. And I couldn't find my brayer, so that's just a dried roller. Smoothing it out. Now I'm just using my mister bottle to give it a spritz, and then I'm just going to pat off the excess water with this little shop towel. And look how instantly we have an awesome sign. I highly encourage y'all to try the IOD paint inlays if you haven't tried them yet, because you can get about 3, sometimes even 4 uses out of these. Okay, so my plan was to go around the edges and the back with the dark walnut stain that I'm using from Dixie Belle. But you're going to see here in just a second, I'll just totally go rogue and cover the whole thing because I just was really loving the vintage look of it. So we got all those little wrinkle creases and I just love the way that settled in there. So I don't know, tell me what you think below. Okay, so I'm sure you've never seen a YouTuber do the exact same project back to back on a video, but here's why. So when we use a paint inlay, we get a little bit of paint transference on that inlay, right? So I had this idea. I had Sawmill Gravy in it to begin with. So then I went on this board with Dixie Belle's French Linen, which is kind of a taupey gray. And I knew I still had those white little crinkles, or the Sawmill Gravy crinkles. So I really wanted to see what that looked like. And I just decided to put this little French horn here just to use that space. So let's mist it up and pull it up and see what happens. Okay, so I want to show you here, if you are having a little bit of resistance when pulling up your paint inlay, it's too dry. So go ahead and mist it a little bit more like I did right here, and then you'll get it up just fine. So you can see here that did exactly what I thought it was going to do. So keep that in mind when you're doing these projects, and you can use that to your advantage. All right, you guys, I think this last way that we make signs is probably the quickest. So I'm giving this a coat of sawmill gravy. And okay, guys, I want to show you a little trick on how to get other colors of ink so that way you don't have to use paint if you don't want to. So we sell these little empty mixing bottles on the website, ruthandruby.com, and it's a 3-pack of just empty bottles. So I took out the little spout piece, and I'm going to take my, what's this color called? Turmeric. And I'm going to pour a little bit in there. And you can see here on the side, so you've got in between the label there, you can see how much is in there. So I'm going to do about a 50-50 mix between that and tomato, also known as red. And I'm going to put the little spout piece back in there and give it a good shake. So then you can always pull that little spout back out and add a little more color and adjust however it is. And I'm just calling this Rusty Orange. And it might be actually a good idea. I didn't think about this till just now, but you might want to write your ratios. So like I would write 50-50 turmeric and tomato. That way if I wanted to mix more later on, I remember how I got that color. So now I'm just squirting that onto a thin mount, and I'm going to use my brayer to roll that onto my stamps. Okay, so we're going to spell out the word fall with the farmhand stamp, and I'm going to pick it up with that little thin mount right there that came with the stamp and I'm going to roll my rustic orange that I made onto my stamps.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you really enjoyed the tips and tricks on how to make signs and all the different ways that you can make those. I hope that you go check out that Beaver cutter because it is an incredible machine for its value especially. So I hope that you go check it out and let me know down below which project was your favorite. And if you have any questions, then please let me know because I will be glad to do more vinyl cutting tutorials. Probably not going to cut much more than vinyl because that's just what I do. So, but however, if you have any questions about other materials, then please go ahead and ask because that might encourage me to try something new, reach outside of my comfort zone a little bit. So I hope that you enjoyed today's video and be sure to like and subscribe. And if you could please share this video with somebody who might find it helpful, that really helps my channel and allows me to make more content for you guys. So I hope you have a great day and I hope to see you this weekend.